Hello there, welcome to this show today or to this video today. I want to talk about my recent PhD defense. If you're new here, my name is Harry Kemoibet. I am a writer, I'm an academic, I'm a researcher, and I've been working on my PhD in communication at State University in Kenya. And about 3 days ago, I had my final PhD defense, which was successful, and I'm really grateful to God for coming this far. And of course, having mixed feelings, people asking me how it feels right now. And I think the feeling is yet to sink in, how I'm feeling concerning all this. But today, I wanted to talk about my journey coming this far. Of course, many people have played a role in my coming to this point. And we don't belong to ourselves. That's what we normally say, that we're not islands. We are not alone in our own journeys. So my coming this far really has been the contribution of so many people, and much more than other people ordinarily. It's because also of my unique story. And that's what I wanted to share here today, because I wanted to challenge us regarding our own lives, our outlook, what we do, what we don't do, how it could be impact on other people's lives. So as for me, I was orphaned at the age of 14. At that time I was in class 8. I was just about to sit my final primary school examination in Kenya, and lost both of my parents. And at that point in time, some people who were strange to us, just came up and decided to take care of us, to adopt us, and just nurture us as their children, take care of us in their school fees, in terms of school fees, upkeep, and all that. And of course, life changed from that point on. Change in terms of relationships, in terms of everything, outlook towards life, and everything else, many things. And this people, like the family that took care of me, and I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful to the role they played, and even allowing me just to study and to come this far, and many other parties that have played a role. And by that, this has been my reflection just the last 3 days after my final defense. I'm just thinking of, I'm getting to that point where now I'm confirmed PhD, and I'm thinking several years down the line, things wouldn't have turned out this way if somebody did not step out to assist me, to take me to school, to provide an opportunity to me. And I've just been in this mood of not just thanksgiving, but also reflecting on the many others who are out there, the many children who are, the orphan, the vulnerable children, who are very bright, but then either they lack opportunities, or they have even been promised opportunities, but they've been taken on a ride. And I'm just thinking about how people are missing out on being who they're supposed to be. You see, for example, I know God deposited in me this just ability, this academic ability, research ability, and things like that. And by that, I'm very passionate about research writing, and I've even been having some trainings on the same, and published, a good number of research papers, peer-reviewed papers. But then that potential would not have been developed if I had not been taken to school, if I had not been given opportunity to go and study. So somebody somewhere sacrificed. Even the family that took me in, it's not that they were the wealthiest families at that point in time. They're just a kawaida, an ordinary family. But then they just sacrificed, took me in alongside their children, of course, took care of my needs, tolerated me even with my just growing up issues like any other young person. But just allowed me to grow, just allowed me to be. And of course, we look back together and see the goodness of God, their perseverance and all that. And the reason why I thought I needed to create this video is, like I've said, there are so many young people today, after primary school, after high school, they don't get opportunities. And opportunities, of course, to further their studies. And the reason is we talk about lack of finances or limited finances, limited opportunities and all that. But I'm also looking at us who have opportunities, who have ability to help others, and wondering what role do we play in other people's lives. You see, for example, some of you who are watching here, you have got relatives, relatives relatives probably who passed on, and then you took in their children, or you promised even to step in and support their children, but then maybe on a second thought or even third thought, you thought you reconsidered and thought, wow, it's going to be very expensive. I can't do anything. So those children are just hanging somewhere and maybe helping somebody somewhere, doing some menial jobs. But these children, if they were given an opportunity, they'd also be PhDs like me today. They'd be at the point where I am today if somebody had just stepped out and given them an opportunity. And by the way, opportunity is not always just finances. Finances is one of the most important support that you can give someone. But did you know you can also give someone just information? There are very many scholarships that are being given by different bodies, whether universities or research organizations or governments and things like that. And sometimes all you just need to do is just provide information to the person. Tell them, I know this organization is providing scholarship. Have you tried? Maybe you could apply. Equity, for example, Equity Bank, from time to time, they give out scholarships. And many other banks and many other organizations, institutions, they give out scholarships. What role do you play, even knowing that there are those scholarships or those opportunities? Because you're supposed to be the one extending a hand to such a person or such individuals. And then you can also, some of us have got very powerful networks. You know someone who could assist this person, but this person doesn't know the opportunity. So all it takes is for you just to introduce them to the right people. Sometimes it doesn't even take a lot of money, just a phone call. You just call someone and introduce them to the person who could help them. And as I've been reflecting recently by that, I've been really troubled by cases where there's some relatives, there's some people who take in very bright children and promise them to take them to university, to colleges, to high school, and tell them, come and stay with us, we will support you. But sometimes people have ulterior motives. They're looking for a house help in the name of children to support. And by that is really terrible. And I believe even before God, it is so wicked. It is so wicked to do that. So that this child is here with you, 1 year down the line, 2 years, they're just serving you. And maybe you don't even pay them because they're not house help as such. They're just helping your family. And sometimes maybe people like this, or young people like this, they're crying in their beds. They go to bed, they're not sleeping because they're thinking, if only I could go to university. My colleagues, my classmates are now finalizing university. I haven't stepped in. Or some of them, it is high school. They dropped out and you promise that you're going to take them back to school. But some 1 year, 2 years down the line, you're just still giving them fake promises. In your heart, you know for sure it is fake. But then they're just holding on to your word that maybe you really haven't gotten the money or haven't been prepared enough. So this is something that has really been going on in my mind recently, because I look at my situation I have been thinking, if someone had not stepped in to help me, I'd probably have ended up being just a hands boy somewhere, taking care of someone's cows, being a garden's boy, or doing some menial jobs, just within my village or across or some other place. I just have ended up that way. But I have come this far because someone was willing to risk, someone who is willing to sacrifice, someone who was willing to extend a hand. And by then, like I said earlier, the people who helped me and even my siblings, they were not family members. They were not people who knew us. They were just willing to help because they had some bright children here whose parents have passed on. So I keep telling people that whatever gets your attention, most likely God wants you to do something about it. If, for example, there is a certain young person that you've really been concerned about, don't start blaming people and thinking, I wish the government could do something. I wish my church could do something. I wish the community could do something. Maybe it is you that God really wants to do something concerning that person. Okay. You could help them with information. You could pray for them. You could advise them. You could talk to them, by the way. Sometimes some people, all it needs is just telling them that you don't need to despair. Go to the university where you've been admitted. I know there's no school fees, but go talk to the admissions team. Go find out even from that institution what work study program they have, something like that, or even opportunities for needy students. So some of these things require just going out of your way to support someone, and you could change their lives. And we need to be very cautious how we handle some people. Taking advantage of people is quite wicked. I've mentioned the case of the orphan and the vulnerable children. Think about it this way: if it were your own children, would you wish for people to treat them the way maybe you're treating them? Those that you have taken them into your homes, you have kept them waiting. I'd rather, by the way, even you just keep off. Don't bring them into your home in the name of I want to help them. But here you are, a month, 2 months, a year, 2 years down the line, they're still holding on, they're still waiting. And I believe your word that maybe really finances have been tight on your end, but you really know that your intention is they have proved so good. You see, some of these young people, because they're very bright, they're very diligent in what they do. Maybe you've brought them into your business, and they have proved very useful to your business. And you're thinking, if they go to school, my business is going to go down. But you know what? There's a God who sees what you're doing and is not happy at all with what you're doing. So this is not to, I'm not being judgmental and trying to sort of scare you. But the thing is, we need to be humane. We need to be considerate. We need to try and help. We need to be sacrificial, And if you really feel like you cannot do it, then keep off, just allow them to be, okay? Just let someone else come in and help them. So as I reflect on my successful defense, I am so grateful that I have been brought to this point in time. But again, my heart has been mixed with emotion, thinking, God, you allowed someone to step in to help me and make me today the PhD that I'm going to be crowned soon. And it's because someone sacrificed, and not just someone, but it's a number of people who've come in. I've just given the example of my parents who started the projects, my foster parents who started the projects and adopted me, provided for me, just really nurtured me to be who I am today. And other people along the line came in. Today I'm a father, I'm a father of 3, I'm a husband. I am a fully grown up person. At that time I was only 14 years old. But it's because it took someone to sacrifice. It took someone to go out of their way. It took someone. And it's not because they were expecting that I would bring in money to come and compensate. No. It was just out of just, God love. Let me call it that way. It is because they were willing to just help someone. And by then, for those of you who are Christians, when you do something, Jesus said, whatever you do for any of these little ones, you have done it for me. And there are things, by the way, we do, and we think like the cases I've been warning and saying that you'd rather not mistreat someone's child. Do you know when Saul, for example, was persecuting the church, Jesus would tell him, Saul, why are you persecuting me? It's not why are you persecuting my church. When you persecute someone's child, you're persecuting God. When you mistreat someone's child, you're mistreating God. And even David, when he had killed Uriah and he had taken his wife Bathsheba, God told him, why are you despising me? So there are things, I think sometimes we hold them very lightly, but we don't know the repercussions. We bring judgment onto our own selves, and sometimes we're wondering, why aren't my businesses moving? Why aren't my things moving? But it is because of the things that you're doing, the things that you have sown for yourself. So this is an opportunity for you to reconsider your ways, in terms of if you've engaged in such a project, maybe you didn't know then. But I'd rather, if you had promised someone that, you brought in a child and you're telling them that I'm going to help you in school, and they have been calling you, but you've just been, I'd rather you tell them that it's really been difficult. I'm not able to help you at this point in time. Please try elsewhere. rather than them looking up to you, but you're not helping them. And some of us even pretend. You tell them, no, just bring me your papers. Bring me your papers. I'm going to see so and so. But those papers just end up with, as soon as they give them to you, you can't even remember where you placed them, because in your mind they didn't register. They didn't register that this person, because you are not serious even when you're promising them. So please don't promise people internship jobs when you know you can't help. No. Let them not be telling people, I have my uncle, he's promised me the next month. The next month becomes another month, another year. Don't promise people things like that. If you know you can't help, just keep quiet. You don't even work it quietly and then just come and surprise them, rather than letting them look up to you and then later on they're just hanging there. So this was a challenge. As I celebrate, as I thank God for this opportunity, it is also my challenge to all of us in Kenya and even beyond, in our communities and even the family. And by the way, we can tell people, you know what you're doing. Why did you bring in your sister's child in the name of coming to educate them? But they're now the house help. They are helping. They're doing all the menial jobs. And some of them, by the way, even going to school with your children, but they're actually playing the role of a house help. You're mistreating them. It's not good. If it were your own child, would you feel good for them to be treated that way? And by then, nobody may know even what is happening. Even the child that you could be treating that way could be persevering, but it's not good. Even before God, is not good. It's not a good thing. So reconsider your way, reconsider your ways, And of course, we want to be blessed. We want our lives to be good. And we want to change the community. And I mean, I'm happy. I know today where I am as a teacher, as a researcher, as a writer, as a leader, I'm going to affect the lives of many people. In a little way, I've already affected one or two here and there. But I know even now with this PhD, I'm going to affect many others. But you see, it would not have been possible if some people had not sacrificed to allow me to come this way. So this is my challenge to you. This is my call to you. Thank you so much. Have a great time. Thank you.